Is it
Let's
is
correct.
it D?
Okay. Letter D. No. Let's try again. Complete the text. Here, remember, hence means cause and effect. Based on this fact, what can we conclude? Need fact based here. Let's try.
Is it A?
Letter A is correct. Prove that here. The pay-as-you-wish model may prove financial success for some, but disappointing for others. Because we have two examples here. But where are they? As I mentioned in the advice, the authors also discuss musicians who saw sufficient earnings from pay-as-you-wish. So this means sufficient earnings. The other one, it's a pay more or less suggested, just like or even nothing. This means they do not earn anything, but it's the same way. Means it's profitable for some and not for others. Of course, for letter B, it's not evident, and here not evident at all. And we're not talking about the popularity of musicians. All right, so it's supporting the text. So remember, hence it means cause and effect, like therefore, consequently, based on these findings. Good job. Let's try.
Is it B?
Letter B.
Is there Yeah, B.
Oh, let's try again.
A.
So A is the best answer. This is right. So it's because it contributes to the ancestors. As you know, for evolve it means evolution, and adventure has benefits. Right?
Is it B?
Can be B, but B is not. So why not to be letter C? Because he mentioned information about less expensive. Let's find it. Let me have. The right to adapt was only available to those who could afford to the copyright fee and gain approval from the restricted copyright holders. This is part. So that is means producing adaptations will become easier and less expensive. Yeah. Because he mentioned here for this one the number of adaptation is likely to increase. To increase why? When we make it easier and less expensive. So that means we have evidence mentioned there. But how about letter A? Those original stories will become hard to find. We're not talking about finding the origin stories or the easier hard. There is no any evidence. Yet we're not talking about the interest of people. We're talking about the number of adaptation. Feel it? This is one, it's not supported at all. Okay, we have words from the text, but the idea. That's why. So here letter C is the best answer. Let's jump to the next.
Is it D?
Letter D wrong. Always find the blame clearly. Mentioned usage.
It starts from in letters until the last thing. That's the claim.
All right, why not? In letters to her husband, friend, she demonstrates her concern for what's happening at home. Which ideas mention she is concerned, she's interested, she's worried, she always care. Remember, concern means too much you care about something. You worry a lot about something, but not worry about a negative feeling, but you concern more than it needs. But interesting. Now let's see and see. Forget not to care for the cat. Look what's happening at home. And the flowers. Do not eat too quickly, nor fan too vigorously now that the weather is warming. Do you feel it? So all of these ideas, it happens at home. And she expressed concern. Forget not, do not. This way. For example, letter D. I'm enjoying a most agreeable visit. An American friends, as also our own, strive, but we're not talking about over what's happening at her home. Feel it? She expressed here her attitude towards visiting American friends, for example. Feel it? And she talks about
Yes.
her feeling about visiting, but the claim is different. That's why. So see, now the next one. If you answer it, you can see the answer.
I think it's B.
Letter D, no. Let's try again.
B.
B, no, my dear friend. Let's try again.
A.
So you have double answers at home, or you guess. Here he mentioned this is part. So we need something to support this one based on facts. So here it must be letter A. Now find any evidence. Presence of certain microbes in soil may explain the difference between healthy and diseased plants. So the soil surrounding healthy plants contain the higher concentration, known to inhibit, you see, than the soil surrounding diseased plants did. Even so, the presence could explain the difference or not. Yes. So higher concentration of microbes. We have a lot. That's fine. But letter B, we have a problem. We said regardless of whether plants were affected or not. This is not support this one. Conclusion. So letter A, it's correct. Now let's try the next.
Is it D?
D, no. Let's try again. Remember, true means we need evidence.
Yeah. C.
So letter C, it's correct, but we need evidence.
Because he
Besides this, she used to write stories for them while they are. Maybe she
That's
created
cool.
stories books for. How did you know for them? He said for them. Yeah,
Mm, yeah.
that is right.
Play with the children and read to them.
That's perfect. Now let's go.
I don't really know. I don't think that's correct, but I think it's A.
So you answered A at home, but no. Why not read again? Let me explain this point for you. So they were just like to check this artifact resisted the firing or not. The conclusion said hominins have had control of the fire, just like this artifact resisted the firing. He mentioned here they tried to catch it about 400. This is the typical temperature. If we said letter A, it will be wrong. Why? Because if it is exposed to temperature of 400, that means it will must be the same. But he mentioned here the artifacts have no visual features. That means the temperature it changed, you know it, the feature. So the firing must be more than 400. You catch it? Here 100, here 100. No, it must be more than 400. So it must be letter B. You catch it? So when you fire something, perhaps the artifacts resisted the firing at the artifacts will be the same. You feel it? Example, when you fire a metal, so the metal controls the fire. So it must be the same. So here it must be more than, right? And now here, if you go to the artifact, you will find it for this one, control. So the temperature. That's why. So for the little, it does not. That's it. So your answer must be related to the conclusion in the text and the graph. Let's jump.
Is it A?
Answer it at home A, but it's not. It's read.
It can be D, صح?
Letter D, no.
Yeah, it can't be D. So it's B or D. Let's see.
Always read it as you read an article. You will memorize everything. Let's see the conclusion. He said the wet and the warm scenario is likely possibly correct. So we need evidence to say how the warm could be correct. Mentioned here. So read the text and find what could be. Let's read it. Although it's clear that Mars once in the past had liquid water on its surface, he said, although astronomers have debated whether the evidence of ancient water reflects a prolonged phase of warm or not, extended time. The so-called wet warm scenario, see, between two dashes, or a brief period of melting in an otherwise consistently frozen environment. Okay. Researchers blah 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 recently added to this debate by using data from NASA and Mars. Okay, what did they do? Here for map, right, is now a large basin in Mars' northern hemisphere. So what is now what? Basin. So when they found the large basin, that just means the warm, wet and warm, it could be there. They're not all the time about frozen. So what supported that based on the facts? Look, it has features suggesting that it once in the past held an ocean, because he said we found the large basin that underwent gradual sea level changes over an extended time. If there was there or not, because they
Yes.
found that already. If so, we suggest it could be. But how about that its dimensions and the shape indicates it's unlikely to have a found. This is mentioned there. It's a conclusion. So did you imagine we wouldn't have any information about that? Do you feel it? So we give you idea related to the topic general, but it's not evident in the text. And that is mean the year is wrong. Again, the physical characteristics are most consistent with it having formed as a result of massive. That is mentioned there. The physical characteristics of anything, it's not supported. Feel it? That's it. So always we focus on the conclusion. What could prove that we have wet and warm scenario there? That's it. Feel it?
Yes.
And if you would like to know more about the wet and warm, go to the text. He said between two dashes. So the evidence of ancient water reflects. Between two dashes, to tell you. That's why. If the conclusion is not clear for you, why not? So letter B is correct. Now let's go to the next. Did you answer it at home?
Is it C?
Letter C, no, but let's try again.
Is it B?
Letter B, no. Always focus on the claim. He said reflects on the escape from everyday life.
Reflects on the yeah.
And which one tells you escape? He said one experiences a certain sense of detachment. Detachment, it means you escape. Detach, as you know, detach, isolation, seclusion. You know, you try to avoid the ordinary day's activities, as he said, escape from. Same expression. For example, A, the opportunities and advantages already offered and constantly increasing are greater than. How? Where is escape from the everyday life? It's opposite. Look, the social and picturesque charm of the long journey is singularly enhanced by. This is opposite. Let this means he's engaged, not escaping. But detachment means he escaped from everyday life. That's why. And the daylight duties that is exhilarating. So he wants to escape from everything around him during day and night. That's why. Now letter D is correct. Let's jump. Question first.
Is it D?
You want to make it letter D wrong. Remember he said of the one on the left. This one. So go for it and try to look here. How about letter C? Shorter
C.
footprint, shorter or not
Yeah.
here, and a longer average stride. Where is this stride? Longer or not?
Yes.
Yes, that's what. And he said here of the two. It means you make comparison between them. I said, come on, very good try. Let's jump.
Is it A? It's
Let,
wrong. Wait.
letter A.
No, no.
Right, try again.
I don't really know.
Don't focus on the what does the question need. So just
It's
that
the
about the site. We need information about the site.
yeah. So
So
it's
what
B.
it's mentioned letter D.
D.
Yes. The finding
Okay.
is significant given the previous lack of known nesting sites in Netherlands. You see, the previous now of South America, which led many paleontologists to assume that the dinosaurs migrated south to lay eggs. Even so, it's a further north than in other nesting because they migrated. You catch it?
Yes.
And here again, we have conclusion. It could help us. Yes or no? The
Yes.
area once a nesting and the breeding site for a group of. So when they migrated, that means it was too far. But it was not difficult to excavate, not mentioned. It is the earliest known example of nesting. It is the earliest known. Is it supported there? Is it earliest before someone else or not? They said they discovered, but not the earliest. Look, it may have been occupied by other. Didn't mention that about occupation by other animals or anything else. So we always give you ideas that's not mentioned there. So find that. Yet about this is two sentences. So your job must be here to focus on this point. Now let's jump to the next. If you answer it correct, you will go for fun.
Is it A?
Letter A, no. Let's prove together why C. He said logically complete sense means because. So because song preference plays a role in songbird mate selection. So song preference. The findings suggested that something mentioned in the text. Look, preferences for their own dialect derives. Look, preferences. When they mature to reproduce with other ones from local rather than non-local. So nestlings produced more begins called in response to their own dialect than to non one. So the finding here support your answer. Yes or no? As you
Yes.
mentioned here. So it's letter C. So but why A is wrong? Look, disappears. So he mentioned here the preference disappears to promote socialization. We don't mention about socialization here. And it's not mentioned this disappear. This is something opposite. Did you catch it? That
Yes.
you don't have any information about disappearing or not. That's why.
Yeah.
So always remember, any answer in this kind of a question, we always give you ideas not mentioned in the text, but related to the topic general. We give you ideas opposite to what is mentioned. So be careful about the negative expressions like rarely, scarcely, hardly, none, never, barely this way. Be careful about the negative prefix and suffixes. And be careful about the answers that show comparisons that we don't have in the text. So take care of it. Plus, in any text, we focus on the findings, the conclusion, surprising, discovering, this way. Feel it?
Yes.
That's it. And sometimes we use definitions. He mentioned here resulting in distinct variations. What's that dialect? So when we make answers, sometimes we use any one of them. So be careful, it's the same. Definition between parentheses to help you to understand. Sometimes we use this one in the text as much as you can, but always adapt yourself to this kind of reading. It will help.
Okay.
Now the last one. We'll answer it and then we'll go home.
Is it C?
So you answered at home C.
Yes.
So remember, this is a matter of life and death. You will not go for fun. So it must be letter A. What is the claim? That is the claim. Find something to support. The concept of world music homogeneous, see, highly distinct traditions, homo, by reducing them all to a single category. So these bones developed independently of each other and they have little in common musically. So homogeneous or not? Yes. Feel it? We didn't have any information. This one is more popular or not. It's not related to the claim. So always focus was this similar to the claim or not. This is one or how performed now performed by diverse array of musicians. This is related to not. Look, this is one are highly distinct from British and North Americans popular genres, but similar to each other. Yeah, but this is part not mentioned. This is part it's mentioned already, as he mentioned here, homogeneous. So home as no same, similar. Okay, but this is part not mentioned. Do you feel it?
Yes.
That's why, but they developed independently. That means they are going to be similar. That's why. And okay, no problem. You can save your answers. Inshallah, next time we'll correct all of them. And today, expect a file for structure and writing, standard conventions of writing. Answer as much as you can and save all the answers. Deal.
Okay.
Deal. Have you finished your quiz and quarters exams in school?
Yes, but we're gonna start finals really soon.
All right, I will make a plan and send it to you to decide because we can meet every day as much as we can to practice together. If you don't answer the homework, but we can share it
Yes,
as much
because
as we.
I need to start early practicing because my SAT exam comes in the mid of my exams, my any school exams.
Yeah, that's why I like you to intensify. And so wait for the plan. I will peruse my timetable and tell you. And for you, you can send me all your free times.
Okay.
You have off days from school, tell me. Plus, if you find anything difficult in school assignments or something, just tell me to
Mm,
share it with you.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Now, a small rest and eat out all the books.
Thank you.
Stay safe, stay strong. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Always welcome.
Bye.